In the tense waters of the West Philippine Sea, a small Filipino supply boat faces off against a massive Chinese Coast Guard ship. Dwarfed by steel and power, the Filipino crew refuses to turn back. The Chinese ship's horn blares, a warning echoing across the waves. Their goal, the BRP Sierra Madre, a rusting warship and symbol of Philippine sovereignty. Each supply run is a test of will, a high-stakes confrontation where a single misstep could spark disaster. Outnumbered and outmatched, the Filipino crew stands firm, driven by national pride. The standoff continues, unresolved as the world holds its breath. The journey to Ayungin Shoal is fraught with danger. Filipino supply boats, built for fishing, set out from Palawan before dawn, knowing what awaits. Chinese ships, bigger, faster, and more powerful, lie in wait, yet the mission is essential. Marines on the BRP Sierra Madre depend on these runs for survival. The greatest threat is the aggressive maneuvers of Chinese vessels, which cut across the path of the smaller boats, risking collision. Shadowing tactics add psychological pressure, trailing the Filipinos for hours. The open sea itself is unforgiving. Weather and waves compound the risk. Most crew are civilian mariners, not soldiers, answering a call to serve. They pack knowing they may not return unscathed. Water cannons, damaged boats, and injury are real possibilities. Each trip is a test of endurance and resolve. Canceling a run would mean abandoning the Marines and conceding ground. So, the crews prepare, check engines, secure cargo, and say their goodbyes. They sail into contested waters carrying not just supplies, but the weight of national pride. Every mission is a statement. The Philippines will not back down. The risks are high, but the alternative, yielding sovereignty, is unthinkable. These sailors are ordinary people in extraordinary circumstances. Their courage keeps the outpost alive. The journey is perilous, but the mission endures. As the Filipino boat nears the shoal, the Chinese Coast Guard escalates. Water cannons erupt, jets arcing across the sky, slamming into the wooden hull. The force is enough to shatter windows and injure crew. This isn't about sinking the boat, it's about intimidation. China's message: "We can stop you at any time." The Filipino crew, battered and drenched, refuses to yield. Their persistence is defiance in action. These tactics are part of China's gray zone strategy, aggressive but just below the threshold of war. By using Coast Guard and maritime militia, China creates ambiguity and deniability. Incidents are framed as law enforcement, not military aggression. This makes international response difficult. No one wants to risk escalation. The Filipino crew pushes on, eyes fixed on the Sierra Madre. Their resilience shows intimidation has limits. Each successful run is a message. The Filipino spirit endures. China's strategy is clever but not unbreakable. The world sees the struggle, law versus force. The supply boat presses forward, undeterred. The fight is uneven, but the resolve is unbroken. In these waters, courage is the only equalizer. For the crew, this is more than a supply run. It's a mission of patriotism and survival. The Marines on the Sierra Madre rely on these deliveries for everything. The sailors see the Marines as brothers. Failure is not an option. Every successful mission is a small victory for the Philippines, a reaffirmation of rights under international law. The 2016 Hague ruling favored the Philippines, but China ignores it. These missions are peaceful enforcement of that legal win. The sailors are ordinary Filipinos showing extraordinary courage. Their bravery inspires a nation and challenges China's narrative of might. Videos of their encounters spark outrage and patriotism at home. By bringing journalists, the Philippines exposes China's aggression to the world. Cameras become weapons. Assertive transparency rallies global support. The struggle is about more than territory. It's about the courage of individuals on the front lines. Their story is the nation's story. The BRP Sierra Madre is no ordinary outpost. It's a rusting WO2 relic, intentionally grounded in 1999 to assert Philippine claims. The ship is decaying, battered by sea and time, but remains a commissioned Navy vessel. Its presence is a powerful assertion of sovereignty. China avoids direct attack, wary of triggering the US-Philippines Defense Treaty. Instead, Beijing tries to blockade and outlast the ship, hoping it will collapse on its own. Each supply run is a race against time and decay. Life aboard is harsh. Cramped quarters, isolation, constant pressure from Chinese ships. The Marines are living symbols of defiance, turning a remote reef into sovereign territory. Their sacrifice shows the lengths the Philippines will go to defend its claims. The Sierra Madre is a David against Goliath, a physical stand for the 2016 arbitral ruling. The world watches its fate as a test of the rule of law. As long as the flag flies, the fight isn't over. The ship's endurance is a barometer for international order in the South China Sea. Its presence is a daily reminder. Sovereignty is defended, not just declared. The struggle continues, rust and all. China's strategy in the West Philippine Sea is gray zone warfare, coercion, without open conflict. Instead of Navy ships, China uses Coast Guard and maritime militia, often disguised as fishing boats. This creates ambiguity. Are these state actions or civilian incidents? Beijing frames aggression as law enforcement, complicating international response. Water cannon attacks and swarming tactics change the status quo incrementally. The goal: exhaust rivals, normalize China's control, and avoid triggering military retaliation. It's a long-term campaign to dominate the South China Sea without firing a shot. International law struggles to address these non-military actors. China exploits these legal gaps, waging a shadow conflict. The world is left searching for answers to this new kind of warfare. The lines between peace and war are blurred by design. The Philippines and its allies face a challenge unlike any before. The battle is as much about ideas as territory. The West Philippine Sea dispute is a global issue. 1/3 of world trade passes through these waters. Any conflict threatens economic stability. The legal stakes are high. Will international law or brute force prevail? The 2016 arbitral ruling gave the Philippines a clear legal victory. But China's rejection challenges the rules-based order. If powerful nations ignore law, dangerous precedents are set worldwide. China's assertiveness is reshaping alliances. Vietnam, Malaysia, Indonesia, and others are strengthening defenses and ties with the US, Japan, and Australia. The region is becoming more militarized and polarized. The US and its allies conduct freedom of navigation operations, but China's behavior remains unchanged. The world must uphold freedom of navigation and the rule of law without sparking war. Diplomatic statements and patrols have limited effect. The challenge: push back against gray zone aggression without escalation. The outcome will shape global norms for years to come. The stakes are nothing less than the future of international order. The US-Philippines Mutual Defense Treaty is being tested in the West Philippine Sea. Signed in 1951, it commits both nations to defend each other against armed attack. Recently, the US clarified attacks on Philippine vessels in the South China Sea trigger the treaty. This deterrent keeps China from escalating beyond gray zone tactics. The alliance gives the Philippines space to assert its rights, but also brings complexity and risk. The US must support its ally without being drawn into war over a remote reef. Washington provides training, equipment, and intelligence, but avoids direct involvement in supply runs. The goal: empower the Philippines, not fight its battles. Under President Marcos Jr., the alliance is strengthened. Joint exercises expanded, US access to bases increased. Beijing condemns this as US containment. The alliance is both shield and lightning rod in the US-China rivalry. Restraint is critical. Miscalculation could have global consequences. The partnership is a key factor in the region's fragile balance. The Filipino supply boat reaches the Sierra Madre, a moment of relief and triumph. Marines greet the crew, supplies are ferried aboard. This small act of defiance is the heart of the West Philippine Sea struggle. The conflict is a contest between two worldviews: China's might makes right versus the Philippines' vision of law and equality. Courage here is modern: sailors holding course, journalists documenting truth, diplomats defending law, Marines standing watch. The stakes go beyond reefs and shoals. They're about the world's future. Will power rewrite maps, or will rules protect the weak? The answer is being written on these sun-baked decks by ordinary people. Their struggle is for all of us. Every supply run is a stand for principle over force. The world is watching, and what happens here matters everywhere. The courage of a few shapes the fate of many. In these contested waters, the fight for justice endures.